Yes, life and energy to you, Africa. Good evening, hashtaggers. Great to be back where we belong, right here on the hashtag couch. We have another power-packed show for you to enjoy tonight. We've got some incredible guests for you to enjoy, but first, it's a warm, wonderful, queen-like welcome to the best presenter. I have to say this, otherwise I might just lose my relationship with Conley.
Thank you so much, Roy. I feel like I need to carry you in my pocket so you can hype me up every single day. Thank you so much, Arthur. Always great being on hashtag, and I cannot wait for our chat with tonight's guest. But before we start, remember to follow all Kwesi Sports social media platforms. They can be found on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Arthur, back to you. Let's get this party started.
All right, so now our first guest tonight is a national treasure in South Africa. She's a multiple champion and global superstar. It's a huge hashtag welcome to my friend, Alyssa Conley.
Thanks for having me, Arthur. So good to see you.
Wow, finally. Finally. Like, I've waited so long to have you on the hashtag couch, and you're finally making your debut.
I'm already jealous. We've never had one of Arthur's friends on the couch.
All right, so we spoke about you being a national athletics champion. Let's get straight into it. You're a 100-meter and a 200-meter specialist. And, firstly, what was the draw card to athletics? And why did you choose those distances as your preferred races?
I think those distances chose me. Anything above 200 meters was a little tough, especially the training. But what drew me to athletics was Marion Jones.
Yes.
I watched her in the Olympic Games. I watched her compete. I was 5 years old, and I said to my mom and dad, like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. Like, her poise on track, the way she just dominated the field and beat everybody. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do.
Wow. I remember when I saw you run for the first time. I was about 10 years old, and you beat almost every athlete in that race. When was that moment of truth for you to feel that, stardom is a near future thing that I must really consider?
I didn't ever think of stardom. I enjoyed being on the track. I enjoyed racing. I enjoyed the feeling of, victory. I enjoyed, crossing the finish line and knowing that, I've put in all this hard work and this has made it worth it.
Yeah.
So, I was just living my passion. I really loved being on the track. I loved racing. I loved beating everyone. And, I always wanted to make the 2012 Olympic Games.
Yes.
Unfortunately, life happened and I never made it there. But with God's blessings, I made 2016.
Yeah. Yeah, 2016 was dope.
Yeah,
Hey?
so it was dope.
Now, you have achieved so much in the sport since the World Youth Championship in Ostrava in 2011. Now, what drives you and motivates you?
I think just, knowing that there's younger athletes, especially females out there, that follows my story and, looks up to me. They always DM me, asking me for advice, asking me how to do certain things, how to train, how to plan their programs, etc. So I think it drives me to firstly inspire other athletes and other women in the industry. But then also just for myself, I thrive off challenge, and I like succeeding. So I will work as hard as I need to work to get to where I want to be. I'm not a quitter.
Hey,
Yeah.
Speedy, I know she's not a quitter, trust. You're an Olympian, and I'd think that probably ranks as one of the top career highlights for yourself. And representing your nation is a dream for any athlete.
It's absolutely a dream. And being an Olympian is a surreal feeling,
Wow.
2014, my sister and we got back onto the track and she was getting me fit from our operation, etc. And we made this pact that we're going to be Olympians. We were like,
Wow.
So it's 2014 and we're both going to Rio 2016 in our respective industries. And yeah, I think we worked really hard and we made it there. And competing with athletes of such pedigree is a dream come true.
Just having a look at these visuals, I love your running technique. I've always loved it, and it's such a testament of you being a product of watching Marion Jones and, of course, with your technique growing over the years. Doesn't this make you want to go back to athletics?
I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I miss that feeling. Athletics will always be my first love when it comes to sport. I think that 21 years of track and field is a long time. Like I said, I thrive off of challenge, and I was looking for a new challenge. I'd love to go to the next Olympic Games in a different sport.
Wow.
But it doesn't mean that I'm done with the track. You never know. I might just come back.
I mean, you could die, yeah.
No, you spoke about injuries, and that's obviously reality for an athlete. Now, how do you bring yourself back to get yourself back to that amazing physique? What was that drive and that like motivation?
It was very difficult. I mean, I went from my operation in 2011. It took me a good 4 years, you know, to actually work up the mental strength and get back to being physical and get back to that physique. And I think like you just have to surround yourself with really strong people that have the same vision and ambition. They have to be in your circle, people that really motivate you and believe in you. You know, everybody around me believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. So that really helped me, yeah.
So did you have that moment when you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, and that family support was like, no, girl, you got it, you can keep
I
pressing?
stopped watching track and field.
Oh.
I stopped speaking to people. I stopped speaking track and field. If anyone around me spoke track and field, I'd like walk away.
Cut them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We defriend them.
Oh, wow. Wow. At some point, I don't know how you're going to feel about me saying this, but at some point I just felt that, you know, after Geraldine Pelé, the next athlete to carry Athletics South Africa female-wise, because I personally think you are stronger and faster than Karina Horn, I believe it was you.
Yeah. I think that I had a good run in 2016. You know, unfortunately, sometimes we don't always get the support we need when we get injured or for development within this country. And I mean, I did best with what I had. And I think that moving forward, I'd like to help other, you know, athletes that are coming up to be that athlete. And like I said, I just might be back.
Oh, I would do anything to see Speedy on the track.
Okay, well, Speedy is trying to come back in a different way. Now, earlier this year, you decided to have a change of sporting code, and you decided to give Sevens rugby a chance. How did that come about?
So, funny story, the coach actually called me last year, August, and he was like, so Alyssa, you know, would you ever be interested in sevens? I'm like, no, I wouldn't. I'm an athlete. I've only ever been a sprinter for my life, you know, for my entire life, and I've never played a team sport. If I played a different sport, it was always an individual sport. That was my thing, you know. So I said no, gave him the cold shoulder, told him I could introduce him into other sprinters. But yeah, eventually this year he called me again in March, and I was like, no, it's not going to work, you know. I can't do this. But 25th of March, I went through to Stellenbosch for the camp, and that's the first time I touched a rugby ball.
Like, that's
Yeah.
insane. The first time you ever touched a rugby
Did you
ball.
fall in love?
I am falling in love.
Oh,
Slowly but surely.
my
It's very
goodness.
challenging, I'm not going to lie. The skill is completely different to track and field. Working
Yeah.
in a team environment is challenging, but the girls are very supportive, yeah.
I mean, from the white line of athletics to the white line of rugby, that jump must have also been very, very difficult for you. But I mean, Olympic African qualifiers for sevens take place in July. Are you positive that you'll make the cut?
Yeah, I am positive. I'm positive that I'll make the team. Just a correction there, we're actually playing the qualifiers in October. So my first tournament will be in Georgia in September. So I have some time still to prepare. I'm working with great people. I mean, I'm part of the Shadow Ball Academy, which is run by Ngubani Bobo, who was the ex-sevens captain for the men's team.
Yeah.
And they really we're putting in the hard work.
How's
We're
that
really putting
been,
in the hard
working with
work.
an ex-sevens player? I mean, surely you're learning the different tricks and the different tips that you can bring into your game.
It's amazing because he understands the game. You know, he's been there, he's done that. He understands that I'm coming from a completely, you know, linear sport to a multi-directional sport now. So he understands my challenges and what I'm going through, and he's made it very easy for me, yeah.
And how's the training been? Obviously, you know, you're beast mode when you're doing athletics. What's the difference between training for the two different disciplines?
The fitness is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Like, for athletics, we'd have 2 sessions a day max.
Wow.
Now, at rugby, we have about 4 to 5 sessions a day,
Wow.
you know, and you have to be really fit. I basically have to do repeat sprints of 12 seconds
Wow.
in 7 minutes on the
Wow.
field. So it's absolutely crazy. I mean, and then you have the contact, you know, and you have the breakdowns, and it's hectic. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the challenge, yeah.
Wow, indeed enjoying the challenge. I just don't know, as a purist athletics supporter, if I feel happy Kadai that she's jumped ship.
And how was support? Because obviously they've been supporting you for athletics family. And
Yeah.
how were they when you said, guys, I'm not doing sevens rugby? What was the response?
Actually, I was racing on the 24th of March. And that morning, I said to my parents, you know, I think this is my last race.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, no, he's felt it. You know, he's seen it, that it's a long time coming. my mom was like, no, don't. You know, just keep at it. Try national champs once more. You never know what can happen. And I was like, no, this is my last race. And I mean, they saw me race that day, and I left for camp the next Monday. And I mean, they've been supportive. They can't wait to watch my first game.
Wow, that's...
And my granny was like, the first try, that's my try.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I've got a very supportive family, very supportive structure, and, you know, they're behind me 100%.
Awesome. Wow, man. Thank you so much, Alyssa. Thank you for coming on to the show tonight. It has been a real pleasure talking to you, and we wish you all the best with the goal of reaching the South African Women's Sevens team. Now, coming up, we have a Castle Lager Africa 5s update. But first, our social butterfly, Felicia Endesby, has been on her platforms. Let's see what she has for us tonight.
Happy Wednesday, hashtaggers. Have any of you guys ever had those annoying referees in your game? You know, the ones that are just always in the way? Well, this weekend, a referee incredibly managed to actually score a goal and then had the audacity to allow the goal to stand. The match official was taking charge of Harkemay's boys' clash with the HSV Hoek in the Dutch 4th tier when he got a little too close to the action. Ultimately, the goal had no impact on the result of the game, with Harkemay's going on to win 4-2. But the messy passage of play did make the score 3-2 at the time, making the hosts a little nervous, having led 3-0 at one stage. And the Drake curse might officially be over, as the Raptors' beloved Toronto Raptors make the NBA Finals for the first time. The Canadian has notoriously been blamed for bringing sports stars bad luck. But this weekend, he celebrated his hometown team overcoming a 15-point deficit to score a 100-94 victory over the Milwaukee Bucks and set up a clash with the Golden State Warriors. Kawhi Leonard achieved a feat that Sergio Aguero, Serena Williams, and Conor McGregor failed to accomplish in beating the infamous Drake curse. However, some online supporters pointed out that the curse would only be lifted if the Raptors now go on to beat the Warriors and win the championship. The Raptors' local team were the first to raise awareness of the jinx back in 2013 when the star became their global ambassador. So it really would make a beautiful ending. Share your thoughts and comments with me on any of my social media platforms. Who are you betting on for the NBA championship? See you in the social sphere.
We are back and the action continues here on #Kweswe Sports. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, last Saturday, Arthur got to enjoy the Castle Lager Africa 5's National Finals Tournament, which took place at the Action Sports Arena in Centurion. Let's see how the day played out and who the big winners were.
Here we go, the Castle 5 Africa SA Finals, the road to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And if you look just over my shoulder, the girls don't look so relaxed because it's all about the blood, the guts, and the glory. Indeed, these matches have been difficult and 48 teams have worked their way for a spot into the finals. Well, just exactly how did it go? Let's go inside and have a look. The Castle 5 Africa tournament is huge, and you know about the news it's making across the continent. Your thoughts on how this edition has been so far?
No, it's been great. I like the fact that they've extended the event to women. I think it's a market that we've got to start developing, and at least giving girls and women the opportunity to compete. So that's great to see. I think that's been the bonus for me, but also just going around the provinces and just seeing the enthusiasm that people have taken up with the fives game has been quite incredible. And yeah, long may it last, because not only is it a great social event, but as you can see inside today, it's very competitive as well.
Five-a-side football marries generations young and old, and this resonates with match umpire Joaquin Dima.
I'm over age of 40 now, so I've stopped, cut down on the playing, I'm more on the officiating side. I just love the game.
What makes it nerve-wracking, and how do you prepare for finals? Is it the same preparation?
You see, being a referee, you can actually kill somebody's aspirations because the players, they team, they always take the frustration onto the referee. You've seen it in professional football at World Cup, they've got a VAR. So in what it means that you're a referee, you're a human. There are things that you can miss, and unfortunately the players always want to win. So that's where the crux of the matter is.
The finals were nothing short of entertainment, and both winning captains agree it was a more joyous celebration for the first women's division victory. You won the women's first ever finals that took place for this edition 2019. That feeling must be out of the world.
I'm so excited. I'm happy for my teammate, and I'm happy for the participant as well. They were always supporting us, and thanks to the coach, we follow the instructions. Yes.
The road to the finals wasn't easy. What was your game plan coming into all the games that you're going to participate in?
Okay, we are good at keeping off the ball. We know that they are very good at strength. They're gonna go and push us. So we went light to them so that we can get more fouls, which we got fouls.
What's going through your mind in terms of where this can take you, and especially beyond the international stage?
Look, to be a winner, it's not easy. It's not easy, and you gotta. It's only 30 minutes. You gotta leave everything out there. You gotta fight for each other, work hard. I mean, to achieve the goal, and who knows what doors can it open overseas, winning this tournament, being in all the press interviews and things like that. So we're looking forward to the trip to Tanzania, obviously to open a lot of doors. Maybe we get seen there, and who knows, we can be playing in Europe.
Yes, the SA finals finally done and dusted. Two teams have booked a spot to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. The women were incredible, and I must just say this was the first time that the women's division is included in the Castle 5 Africa tournament. And guess who are the victors? The drama queen. They left it on the field. They went up against a worthy opponent in the name of chili sauce. And at the end of the day, it was obvious that the queens of football for this inaugural edition of the Castle 5 tournament would be the drama queen. Everyone waited for the match that the men would summon. Of course, the finals from last year saw the champions from last year come into another roller coaster ride, because they would love to go to the African continent and show South Africa what they are made of. The team from the Eastern Cape were not as strong, because the result and of course the victory went the way of Orlando Pirates. This talent has been great. This football has been of the highest quality. We can't wait for Dar es Salaam, Tanzania in June, where the finals will be #lit.
Looking good in red there, Mr. Banakawa. What an exciting tournament. We are now joined in studio with Vaughan Cruiser and Brendan Morris. Guys, welcome to the show. So good to have you.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Awesome. So let's get right into it, Vaughan. We are now entering the break of the football season all over the world. Now, during this break is when we see a lot of social football being played. What does Africa Fives have in store for us?
Yes, Castle has for a long time been a proud sponsor of the professional side of football. And what Africa Fives brings is a beautiful platform of where the game is really happening, you know, in the streets and socially with friends and over a beer. And the tournament has had amazing momentum this year, 8 countries participating. And we've now just wrapped all the country finals and about to head off to Tanzania.
Well, someone who's also going to be going to Tanzania, did I say it right? Tanzania, is Brendan. Welcome to the show, brother. You represent South Africa in the Africa Fives, and the road to the final must have just been something so unique. Express how it was for you.
It was a great journey for us as a team. We worked hard for one another. We didn't know what to expect in Zambia last year, but the conditions, we found our feet, and we made it home for ourselves. So we just worked hard for each other because we knew what was at stake, the trip going to Russia. So we just worked hard for that trip. It wasn't easy though, but it was worth it.
I mean, the African talent on the continent must be stiff competition. Were you not at some point intimidated that you might not go past certain stages of the competition?
It was indeed. In fact, we played the host country, Zambia, in the final. So it was end-to-end. It was physical. It wasn't an easy game. One couldn't say that it's going to go automatically to South Africa or to Zambia. So it was end-to-end.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, well, Vaughan, now this year's Castle Lager announced some fantastic additions to the campaign, being additional markets as well as a women's division. What informed the decision for a masculine beer brand to sponsor women's football?
Well, Castle is a brand that believes in inclusion. We're a brand that likes to bring people together. And while we were developing this year's edition of the tournament, we thought it would be a complete miss if we don't have this female leg. And it's just been incredible. I was in Zambia last week for the finals. We had 12 women's teams there from across the country. We had 4 teams from the Copper Belt.
Wow.
And just to see the passion, the competitiveness, and the level of skill displayed on the field was really heartening for me. And I feel like we're actually playing a part in the development of women's football on the continent, because this is now the premier social football league, you know.
Wow, well said, Vaughan. I'd just like to find out what makes the Castle 5 Africa tournament the biggest five-a-side on the continent. What are those distinctions?
Yes, our dream was to make it a big tournament so that it has scale and presence. But it was for us, it was more than that. It was also about creating these friendships across boundaries and also for the development of the sport. And it is primarily a social amateur tournament. We want it to be fun, we want it to be engaging, and that was the dream. But the momentum has just been amazing. And also the addition of the West African teams this year, I think will bring a nice new flavour to the continental finals.
Yeah, now last year's winners went to the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia, and this year football fans are expecting some exciting prizes up for grabs. Tell us more about this year's prizes. I hear there's a trip to Barcelona. If that's the case, you know, I might just put my team.
Yes.
We're very fortunate in that we have a very passionate ambassador in Samuel Eto'o. He's been a great ambassador for the tournament. He loves being on the continent and giving back. He's helping us build some legacy pitches, and he will be the host of the winning team, and they'll win a trip to Barcelona with Samuel to watch a fixture there, which is to be confirmed. But I think an amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be spending time with Samuel and your best friends after such an amazing journey.
I just want to throw my name in the hat there that, you know, if you need any additional people, just, you know, carry bags, carry water, you know, hang out with Samuel when the team is busy, you know, I can volunteer there.
Couldn't I? Some live reporting will be...
There you go, some live reporting, yeah. That's a deal then, it's set in stone.
Nice. Brendan, have you met Samuel Eto'o, and what was that experience like? I mean, a legend of the game.
Yes, I met him last year. It was a great experience. He's such a humble guy. One will never, ever say all the achievements that he's achieved in playing football. You will never, ever say that that guy has achieved what he has achieved. He's such a humble guy. You can speak to him at any time. He's always there for you. He'll always be there.
Any dreams of playing for Bafana? Or is five-a-side where you stay?
Five-a-side is where I belong.
Why?
Because it brings you closer to your friends. It just connects you. Like, there's no pressure, there's no stress. You're just playing the game for the fun of it. And like Castle is bringing players to play together, friends to come together and play the game. That's just the objective. You come together, there's no pressure, you enjoy yourself on the field, and that's it.
Wow. That's it. All right, Vaughan, any future exciting things that is attached to the tournaments that we, you know, in Africa can be looking out for?
Well, I think the first step is the Tanzania leg of the continental finals coming up on the 7th and 8th of June at the Uhuru Stadium. And we've been borrowing from some of the other sporting codes. We've been looking at what Sevens and the IPL does for sport, and we're bringing some of those ideas to the continental finals in the stadium. So we can expect a real showpiece, a real entertaining, fast-paced experience. And then looking further into the future, I have 3 or 4 countries knocking on my door, saying they are very keen to join us. That will take us up to 12 countries.
Wow.
And I hope to see the Women's League growing even more. You know, Amanda Dlamini has been a great ambassador for us, and to see the Women's League grow would also be a dream come true. So those are the medium-term goals for us.
Oh, We've already ran out of time. Like, I don't know, like we already told the producer to put an extra 30 minutes on the show, but we know that we're pulling his arm. Very quickly, guys, your fans at home that are watching, where can they get in touch with you on social media?
Yes, they can follow Africa Fives, africa5s.com, or the @Africa5s on Twitter and Facebook. And actually also just keep an eye on Kweze. You know, you guys have been a great partner for us, and we look forward to growing this thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Brendan the man.
My team, we go under the name of Orlando Pirates 5, so Instagram page, Facebook page, Orlando Pirates 5s, that's where you can find us.
All right, fantastic. So remember, all the action from the finals taking place in Tanzania will be right here on Kwese Sports. Vaughan, Brendan, thank you very much for coming through, and definitely to the studios this evening. Kwese Sports will be following all the action as it unfolds. Kandai, I don't like saying goodbye to you.
Then don't say goodbye. I'll see you later.
You'll see me later.
Later.
Okay, we'll see you later. Well, to all the Kwese-fied faithful hashtag watchers, you know that we have got a date next week, same time, same place. From myself and the rest of the hashtag team, it's goodbye for now. Adios.